How's everybody doing out there? How is your life going today? You know, in the context of fourth way teachings as taught by G.I. Gurdjieff in the late 1800s, early 1900s, he said that the majority of the people that we see in everyday life are basically robots, or as he called them, automatons. Another way to put it would be to say that he claimed that in the context of the fourth way, that these people are asleep. And there's very little hope of waking up. Now let's get back to the automaton thing. The concept of the automaton means simply that everyone that you meet, just about the majority of the folks you meet or know in your own family and otherwise, most of them are going to be what we would call reaction machines. Meaning, events happen and they just react to them blindly without thinking. So in other words, external events, what they perceive to be external events, control completely what they do, their choices. And there's a lot of good examples of that, but another good analogy would be a pinball. They're like pinballs in a pinball machine. The pinball has no control over what it's doing. It hits one flipper, it goes one way. It hits another flipper, it goes another way. Until eventually it goes down the drain. Gets recycled and starts over again. Over and over. That's most of the people, according to Gurdjieff. I tend to agree with this because I've been studying fourth way for many, many years now. One thing I'll say is that the scenario I've been talking about for the past few weeks, the topic that I've been using for a couple videos was the Charlie Kirk situation. And if that's not proof of the reaction machine in today's modern society, I don't know what is. There's such a strong emotional reaction to this scenario by people that didn't know Charlie Kirk, never met the guy, never was with him in his everyday life, but yet they feel so strongly about him, one way or the other, whether they hate him or they love him. I mean, you can watch his, I guess you would call them debates that he would hold at college campuses, and you can develop an opinion on his character. And I know I've said in other videos that I didn't think he was that bad. I didn't see any hate speech, which I still stand by that. I don't see any hate speech. What I see is him using his cognitive bias to promulgate whatever message he felt he needed to promulgate. Whether that was funded by someone or not, I don't know, but it doesn't really matter in the context of what I'm claiming, in that I've never seen him or heard him use what I would construe as hate speech. Hate speech to me is when someone is literally has a malicious and hateful agenda and volition, and it's quite obvious, and they project that through their speech. If someone's saying that they absolutely, positively hate cars. I hate cars. I don't care if they're electric cars. I don't care if they're gasoline cars. I don't care if they're diesel cars. I don't care if they're broke-ass cars, broke-down cars. I hate them. And I want every one of you out there Anytime you see a car, throw rocks at it. If you have a firearm, fire on it. If you see someone, if you know someone that drives a car, they need to go too, man. I just hate cars. We need to exterminate the cars. Doesn't matter. Or, conversely, I could be hateful towards electric cars. You know, the gasoline cars are cool, man. Leave them alone. It's the electric cars that cause the problems. You know what I'm talking about. You know what they look like. You know what's going to happen when you see the electric car around. Get rid of it, man. We need to eliminate the problem. We always have these problems when the electric cars show up. Or vice versa, the diesel versus the gasoline. You see the point. I hope you see the point I'm making and how goofy it sounds. That's hate speech. I never saw Charlie Kirk do any of that. He did subtly and sometimes not so subtly express his cognitive bias in any certain situation. And I've also made it clear that while I do agree with some of what he said, the main thing that I disagree with is his presumptive and assumptive position on monotheism, religion, specifically Christianity. Because, as you may or may not know, my position on that is that religion, monotheism, as a whole, in general, it doesn't matter what denomination of monotheism or what denomination of the Abrahamic religions you are, it doesn't matter if you are a proponent of Judaism, it doesn't matter if you're a proponent of Islam, it doesn't matter if you're a proponent of Satanism, it doesn't matter if you're a proponent of Christianity or any of those subsets. It's all monotheism. It's all Abrahamic. It's all comes from the first 5 books of the Torah. And it's all a psyop. The greatest psychological operation, mind control mechanism ever perpetrated upon mankind. New Testament, Old Testament, doesn't matter. Very, very insidious with my position, my viewpoint. And I got into a conversation with a fellow in the comments field, how this individual claimed that Charlie's viewpoints were shaped by his religious beliefs or informed by them. I'm not sure exactly the word that they used. To an extent, that is true. To an extent. But, however, there are certain things, and I find certain contradictions with religious folks, where they'll speak one way and say that they do this or that or the third, but their actions tell something different. If you criticize or question someone's religion, most folks feel immediately that they're attacked, they're being attacked, and they respond accordingly. Instead of stepping back and trying to get the whole picture, rule one, rule equal. It's like, when you feel that way, that strongly about something that is mostly based on presumption and assumption, then that is the same tactic, ladies and gentlemen, that the fiction system uses in a foreign vessel in dry dock to knock you off balance and get you under their control, to be able to manipulate you. Once they can get you emotional about something, once they can get you divisive and yelling at your best friends, your brothers, your sisters, your parents, your children, getting into big, massive blowout arguments, blocking each other on Facebook, whatever it is that you do, that's that's only in their favor. That's feeds the agenda, whatever that agenda may be. That's why, in my humble perception, logic was excised from the public school curriculum long ago, along with a lot of other things, a lot of other valuable things, such as metal shop, wood shop, just shop class in general, mechanic shop, learning how to do accounting, business, logic, rhetoric, even grammar. I mean, fiction grammar, but no child left behind, anyone? All you have to do is look at a comments field in any social media platform, and you can see exactly how communication has taken a rapid nosedive in the last 50 years. Read a newspaper, read an internet article written by or included in like USA Today, Newsweek, Time Magazine, and you will see the difference between that article and articles that were written in the same papers and same magazines 50 years ago, or even 30 years ago. Huge difference in aptitude. I don't think this is by coincidence. I really don't. I think it's by design. Because you don't need workers to think. And if you get people worried about all kinds of basically scenarios that have no impact on their day-to-day life and get them emotional about it, well, then you pretty much got it, all the bases covered, because all they have time to do is work, sleep, and argue. And that's that. I just blocked a guy who claimed to know 7 languages and claimed to travel the world without a passport and all these different things. And man, it just took like a couple little pokes and dude went off the rails. Dude just went off the rails, started name calling, insulting. And that tells me exactly it tells me the character of an individual. And I think it was either him or someone else who accused me of having a huge ego. Now again, just like humility, which I try to cultivate humility, I do my best. It's not up to me to say whether I'm humble or not. It's up to the viewer or whoever cares about that shit to say whether I'm humble or not, or whether I have a big ego or not. And quite frankly, it doesn't bother me when people say things like that, and that's what I think a lot of folks miss, is the humor in this, that I don't take myself very seriously. I'm very serious about correct sentence structure, communication, parsing, syntax, grammar. And this individual who claimed to know 7 languages, which I said master of 7, or how did I say it? I said jack of 7 languages, master of none. I thought that was pretty good myself. Oh, but that's my ego talking, isn't it? He was basically saying that I would be nothing without the English language, that it's a crutch for me with this quantum grammar, and that he knows 7 languages, asking me how many languages do I know. Well, here's the thing about that. Correct sentence structure can be used in other languages, and if I needed to do that, I know how to do that with Google Translate. I can use it in other languages. It would take a little figuring, but just like David-WYNN Miller, I have, actually David-WYNN Miller told me how to do it. I have a way to do it where it's foolproof. I can use any of the 7 languages that guy claims to know, plus any other number of languages. I can translate it if I need to, which I wouldn't need to, and I've never needed to. So what's the point? There is no point. So that's why I like to feel people out, see where they're at, see what type of character they have. And an individual like that, at least at this present juncture in the now space, does not possess the emotional stewardship. They don't possess enough stewardship of their emotions to be able to use something like correct sentence structure, communication, parsing, syntax, grammar, because they get worked up too quick. Reaction machine, as we talk, to bring it back to Gurdjieff. All right, I've babbled and rambled long enough here, folks. I appreciate you listening. I appreciate your viewership. Appreciate you sticking with me, especially you members out there, subscribers, people that share. Hey, hope you have a blessed day, and que sera, sera.